This story is so powerful that I read it and I reread it and I reread it. I couldn't believe it because it happened to someone in our generation. The Nesivas Shalom was only nifter 20 years ago. There was a chassid of his, he was the Rosh Yeshiva of Slanim, it was a Talmud of his, and he moved away from being able to be near him in Yerushalayim. And he went into him and he said, I feel that I'm going to be removed from the Rebbe, from the Rosh Yeshiva. And I feel like that connection that we have, that bond, that I used to see you every day, I'm going to be in a different city. And I'm going to be missing out. I couldn't believe this. Nesivas Shalom said, after Yasuda on Friday night, spend a few minutes at the table thinking of me, and I will spend a few minutes at my table thinking of you. Because you can connect the machshava. Unbelievable. Listen to the punchline. This guy ended up in Yerushalayim one week, months or years later, doesn't say. He happened to be in Yerushalayim during the week, so he went to visit the Nesivas Shalom. He said, oh, where were you Friday night? He said, what? He goes, I didn't feel that you were there. So he tells him, the chassid tells the Rebbe, he says, I wasn't feeling well, and I was going to lie down just for a few minutes and wake up, and I ended up waking up in the morning. I mean, he lived in our generation. He lived 20 years ago, he was passed away. But I want to tell you something. We have somebody in this room, I'm not going to embarrass him, okay? We have somebody in this room who had that same nafshei kshur b'nafshei with his son. When his son was in California. And Shabbos l'chmittag, Shabbos in the afternoon, this tzaddik of a father who built a real nafshei kshur b'nafshei against all odds, told his wife, something's wrong with my son. And he found out that at that moment, his son was in terrible, terrible agony and tsar and pain at that moment. Can we have a round of applause? Sitting in this room. How is that possible? How is it possible? You should be proud. How is it possible? That's what nafshei kshur b'nafshei is. The nafshei kshur b'nafshei was so connected. And that's why it works even if your son is in Eretz Yisrael, anywhere in the world. It's your thoughts. It's your thought power of connection. And kamayim hapanim lepanim is a reality. The more you sit and think about your son, about your daughter, I'm proud of her. I feel so bad for her. I'm with her. I believe in her. I believe in him. That power in itself is healing. And that's why the Nesivas Shalom writes, it's not a mistake, and we say this all the time, we have to say it again and again. Kisheroyim eitzel yeladrach oy begil ha'aspagrus netiyo l'shchitus. When you see a teenager who is getting corrupted, who's into bad stuff, shchitus, corruption, movies, whatever corruption is, we don't have to get graphic over here. We all know what corruption is, and if someone doesn't know, I wish I could be like you, right? What should you do? What should you do? Everybody says, throw out the iPhone, break down the door. Everybody has their ideas. What do you do when your kid's struggling with something? Everybody will tell you. Says the Nesivas Shalom, master mechanach, besides for Rebbe and Nesivas Shalom and holiness, master mechanach of the last generation. And he knew us, and he says, muchrachim lishlait beruach. You have to get a hold of yourself. He doesn't say mechrachim lishlait al hayeled. He doesn't say that's communism. Someone's doing something that you don't like, grab hold of him. You say, in my house, you can't do this. You have to have respect for the mezuzah and for my house, and you're not going to. It's communism. It doesn't fix the ratzon. Mechrachim lishlait beruach. Get a hold of yourself. Ula oyer a love, and awaken towards that neshama, towards that child. Ahava, the chemla, love and mercy, beli gvul. How much, what they tell you, how much she's supposed to suffer from what? Beli gvul, unlimited, or yoyser mikamoshe rachashu ein elav ad ata, even more than you did until now. And a big part of what we're doing through the buying the gifts, and that's why I said, fathers, a lot of them, they tell your wife to buy it for you. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's like telling your secretary to get your wife an anniversary gift. Not going to work. Might work anyway. It's not going to work. You have to do this yourself. You have to care. Your care, your concern, your tefillah. I'm searching. Each parent has their own journey. It doesn't happen. You can't be yaitze with somebody else and you write down that letter. A lot of this is not just about the child being proven, which is also good, that my parents really accept me and love me. Very important. But a lot of it opens up your access to your love inside of you, like Rav Dessler famously says, that the shirish of the word ahava is hav. The root of the word love is to give. You don't give to whom you love people that you give. When you give, it opens up love and you're exciting. You're excited and you want them to like the gift, right? And when he tells you, you made my week, you feel good, that opens up the channels of love. And if the entire salvation is love, not because of liberals and not because of America, but because the Baal Shem Tov said the only medicine is love. The Chazon Ish said the only medicine is love, and 4,000 other people that we don't have time to go through right now said, including Satmar Rebbe, Lubavitcher Rebbe, Reb Shach, whoever you go to, Bavadia Yosef, only medicine is love. So you need to access as much love as you can. So you just gotta sit there, take out a picture and say, I believe in you. Whatever happened to you, I'm sorry it wasn't, even not in front of the person. It opens up the powerful air waves or whatever they're called. Right? And then kamayim apanim lepanim. Kain leva adam la'adam. It's reciprocated. That's just the way. It's part of the bria, Taisa says. It's a pasuk and it's a part of the bria. If I really like you, you're going to really like me. If I really love you and I'm crazy about you, and why aren't we? The answer is we really are, but the way they're behaving now is so wrong compared to what we would like and what we dreamed of. But this is the medicine. This is the medicine. We don't accept, love and like and accept because we're happy that a kid is dysfunctional, or that it's because this is the medicine of kamayim apanim l'panim. This is the medicine of nafshik shur b'nafshay. And so we have Nesivas Shalom just 20 years ago, and we have a father sitting in this room right now that was able to shpir, to be margish, to feel my child is in trouble. And maybe he'll teach us how to do it. But we can all get there. We have to get there. To have such feelings for our children, something's wrong. I'm going to know about it. And at the end of the day, that's what saved Yosef. Right? The Nesivas Shalom says, because his father refused to give up on him, that gave him koyach one chapter later, many years later. He refused to do the Aveira, saved his whole Yosef HaTzadik. His whole life was saved because of Vayimayin. The koyach of Vayimayin comes because he had a father far away, Vayimayin L'snachim, who refused to give up on him. So your son, Vayimayin, from a lot of Averis, was with a goita, a shiksa, a non-Jewish person, whatever title you want to give her. And now, just 2 years later, he's in yeshiva because he had parents, Vayimayin L'snachim. So many times people said, how much are you supposed to give? And he bashed this up and he threw this part. Crazy stuff you went through. See this whole section of white hair? It's you guys. This is from him. Okay? And everybody wants to give up. And we're not giving up because there's no plan B. Just today on the phone said, okay, so when can we stop doing this? When can you stop being understanding of your child, that they've been hurt, that they need your love and support? I don't think that's going to happen. Not on my watch. And Baruch Hashem, he's in yeshiva. Hashem should help that he should get back to who he always was meant to be. He was thrown off the horse. But the truth is, he's never going to be what he was meant to be. He's going to be better. He's going to be stronger. When he davens, it's not like when I daven. He doesn't have to. He's coming back. These guys, when they daven, they feel, I want to pray. I had such an interesting thought. I wasn't in the mood of davening. I said to myself, I know part of davening is thanking Hashem and praising Hashem, but most of it is just asking Him for stuff. How can I not be in the mood of asking Him for health and wealth? And like sometimes we're not in the mood of davening. Really, we're pretty much just asking Him to give us stuff. And still, it's hard to be in the mood sometimes, right? Yeah, like I thought to myself, I just wasn't in the mood. I'm like, I'm not in the mood of asking Him to give me money. How can I not be in the mood? Like, I'm not in the mood. And basically, most of it, we're asking for stuff that He has, that we want. That put me in the mood right away when I thought of it. When he davens, I had kids who told me that when they put on a talis, they feel like Hashem is hugging them. I'm so embarrassed I don't feel that way. I have kids who told me, Mamish, I put on tefillin, I feel like, even in the beginning, when they put it on for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, they say, it's like an antenna, I'm connecting to Hashem, and I feel connected for the rest of my day is better. I'm so embarrassed. We regular people can't feel this stuff. So Bezrat Hashem, he's going to come back, he's going to be even stronger than he would have been, and he's going to be amazing. He has such a great personality, and this kid who was such a rebel, such an in-your-face rebel, he's going to go from rebel to Rebbe. Bezrat Hashem. Mitzvah Hashem by all of our kids. They're not losers. They're winners that are not yet winning. And with your support, we're going to carry them through the dark years, all the way to that chuppah that we're waiting for. Kadas Moshe Yisrael.